Yankee Ripper is the racing water slide at Aquaboggan in Saco, Maine. Added in 2019, this water slide adds another much needed thrill ride to the park's lineup, and it's unlike any other water slide in New England. Riders climb aboard a sled, head down a steep drop, and then skim across the water. But is this ride worth experiencing? Find out in this review. Now, calling Yankee Ripper a new for 2019 attraction doesn't tell the full story. Aquaboggan has been around for nearly 4 decades, and Yankee Ripper was one of their oldest slides. However, they removed the slide roughly 2 decades ago. I couldn't find an official reason why it was removed, but I suspect it may have been related to safety. Bailey Rides manufactured a very similar attraction called the Aqua Skoot. Both Yankee Ripper and Aqua Skoot used heavy sleds and featured a large drop at the start. Immediately after the drop on the Aqua Skoots, the sleds would be launched across a pool and skip across the surface like a stone. And if riders didn't maintain their balance, they would comically and sometimes painfully wipe out. Now, I can't find any images of the runoff on the old Yankee Ripper, but I wonder if the high-speed wipeouts were common on that one as well. The newly rebuilt Yankee Ripper has a key difference on the runoff and is designed for safety. After the drop, there is a long straightaway where the sleds bleed off speed, and there are some additional small puddles along the way that help sap off some additional speed. So by the time you reach the pool at the end, most riders are only traveling at a modest speed. This means wipeouts are all smiles now. To ride Yankee Ripper, you first need to grab a sled. The park had roughly a dozen sleds in use during my 2021 visit. You would wait in line next to the splashdown pool for one, and then you'd have to lug it up the hill. And these sleds are very annoying to carry. They're deceptively heavy, and you're walking up a rather steep hill to reach the slide. I really wish there was a conveyor belt to bring them up, but none of Aquaboggan's slides have that. Now, adults could get the sleds up, albeit with some huffing and puffing, but I saw a lot of younger kids really struggle. They would have to take a lot of breaks heading up the hill, or worse, sometimes a parent had to carry it for them. The amount of time it takes to get the sleds up the hill is one of the contributing factors to this ride's low throughput, so it's one of the best ones to hit early if you're visiting Aquaboggan. Once at the top of the slide, you place your sled down and get detailed instructions how to ride from the operator. For their other slides, Aquaboggan is pretty lax and allows pretty much any sliding position. Most slides allow you to go backwards. Yankee Ripper is a completely different animal though. You need to hold on, face forwards with your legs in front of you, and keep your balance. The operators remind everyone not to lean back because that's the number one thing that can cause wipeouts. Both sides are dispatched at once so you can race down. The slide starts with an exciting plunge. It's pretty steep and tall for a water slide. According to Google Earth, Yankee Ripper is roughly 12 meters or 40 feet tall. That is quite the drop for any water slide when you're on a raft or a sled. Usually drops this big are only found on body slides. While the drop doesn't offer any airtime, it's very zippy and it builds up some good speed. Then comes the straightaway. And that's an extreme oversimplification. The straightaway is not a flat surface. There are several bumps along the way that lead into an inch or two of water. Since the sled is still in contact with the rigid slide, no one will wipe out here. However, riders will feel their sled momentarily jump off the trough, and you may also make a modest splash too along the way. It's a fun way to safely bleed off some speed. You then hit the final splashdown. Young kids probably lost almost all of their speed by now, but grown adults can still zip across quite a bit of the splashdown pool. And remember not to lean back, or both you and the sled may wipe out on top of each other. If you keep your course straight, you'll skim over a bit of the water and then come to a stop after bouncing up and down. You then sort of sink downwards, and that's your cue to get up, ending your ride. So what would I rate the Yankee Ripper? I would give this sled slide a 7 out of 10. This is a pretty simple but fun attraction. The sleds and runoff give this slide an out-of-control feeling. The initial drop is quite thrilling for a water slide, and then it's a physical challenge to avoid wiping out at the end. I'd love to try one of the wilder Bailey Aqua Skoots one day, but until then, I at least have a somewhat similar ride at one of my local water parks to enjoy. So those are my thoughts on Yankee Ripper, the recently reintroduced racing slide at Aquaboggan. What are your thoughts on this slide? Did you happen to ride the old one? Let me know any of your thoughts on the slide down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I'd appreciate it if you gave this video a like and you considered subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.